ladies and gentlemen, this is Breaker, and I'm back for a cast. I actually haven't done any casts from Cast It in a long time now. I do want to duly note that this is a Gold versus Masters League random. A gold. Oh my god, where is my line of thinking today? A Gold Terran facing off against a Masters League random player. Let's go ahead and give them both an introduction, and I will get back to my re-intro of myself and some new StarCraft news that's been basically revolving around me in the past few days as well as the near future. Okay, so spawning is our Zerg in the upper right-hand corner. He originally came into the game as a Masters League random player. His name is CobraKai. And in the lower left-hand corner, spawning as our Terran in the blue trunks. He loaded up as a gold player, but make no mistake about it, he's actually on a Smurf. His name is Somi. After this, I think I'll just refer to him as Somi. But yeah, let's get back to what's gotten me so holly and jolly. The map we are on right now is Neo Planet S. Wow, I almost said Neo TV. Which brings me to this point, guys. I'm actually going to be casting the next Neo. Well, no, I can't really confirm that. I'm actually looking forward to at least seeing who's casting the next Neo TV Star League. And personally, you know, I'm actually looking forward to the competition itself. It's actually, I don't know how else to say it. You know, I casted the last one, but it's still up in the air on who's going to be casting the next one. I do know that my contacts with them have informed me that basically ESL will be managing it. I do manage the ESL Taiwan channel, and that channel's specialty is basically meant to cast Taiwanese and Chinese events in English, and also to cast Western events in Chinese should they involve any Chinese players such as Shigua, Calm, Jim, and of course Chinese-speaking players as a whole, you know, Acer Fly, Gamania Sen, and so on and so forth. Looks like I ran into some kind of hiccups in the game now, and I'm not entirely sure whether or not Somi is entirely alerted to whether or not his opponent is Zerg. Let's go, and if there's any doubt in his mind now, it has surely been removed. SCV did just run across the hatchery, and he's gonna see the pool here. And is he gonna see a gas? He will. Yes, no drones being pulled to stop that. Of course, at this level, it would actually be quite detrimental, as both these players do have high MMR, relatively high MMR. At least one of them has. Well, this is interesting. Double gas with this many workers, single base. I'm a little curious to see just where we're gonna see Somi go with this. Okay, there's the factory. But of course, the barracks is way over here, so I'm thinking, okay, perhaps, just perhaps, this could be a Blue Flame opener, maybe even a medevac, or excuse me, a medevac harassment opener. We're gonna see Widow Mines, or as Destiny calls them, Widow Cannons, maybe some Hellbats, but I don't think we're not gonna see Hellbats for a while, so we'll see Hellions to some extent. Well, eventually we will. Pardon me, I'm about to sneeze. I'm sorry, guys. Forgive me. Also on my plate, basically, as long as we have both players macroing up, very standard game in the make so far, I do want to explain that I am finally going to get I want to say, a solid paycheck for casting what is known as the AZS StarCraft League. So, I wouldn't say it's the greatest, but of course it's, you know, it's a good form of income. It'll be a healthy chunk of change, provided that I make it to every single cast like I should. Sacrificial Overlord came in here. I'm wondering just what on earth it saw. Let's go back here, click on this Overlord, and come over here and hit the V button. Yes, he saw that there is actually a factory with a reactor in the makes and a starport right behind it. How did he know it wasn't a double factory? Well, there would have been two factories that would have been already ready, if not one that was already in production, and this is, you know, quite the brave follow-up from Somi. Wow, what is that? Looks like he ended up canceling one of his barracks, but I want to say that the follow-up we're going to see from Somi will be considerably heavy bioforce. And what the goal of this 111, yes, there are the Widow Mines in production. You know, unfortunately, Somi is actually supply blocked right now, but, you know, we're going to see some drones getting killed. Basically. Like, that's the one thing I can guarantee you that we're going to see Somi try and do. And of course, I think we have CobraKai basically gearing up to get ready to hold his ground against the Assault. I like the interesting placement of the Spore Crawler and the Spine Crawler, but I do also think it's slightly dangerous. I'd rather see the Spine Crawler right here and maybe the Spore Crawler. I wouldn't mind seeing it right behind the mineral line. The Spine Crawler would actually be more aptly able to reach anything that drops into the mineral line, and the Spore Crawler will also serve as detection, so here we go. I think this is going to be pretty stiff static defense coming from CobraKai, you know. It could actually go very well in his favor, and alternatively, if we see some, you know, just absolutely amazing micro skills and excellent Marine Widowmine placement from Somi, then he could very well do a lot of damage. But there we go, Ignite Afterburners being activated. He really wants to get in there and make that drone massacre happen. You know, it's all Zerg population control, and the Overlord spots that, but the question is, do we see CobraKai with an immediate reaction? Not just yet. The medevac is going into the main-ish area, and it decides not to drop, so it just pulls out. And it's going to drop right here. This one lands right here, and it looks like we're going to have maybe 4 or so Marines dropping out of here. Yes, not the best idea, and I'm a little oblivious as to just what the goal of that harassment move was to do. It did kill a considerable chunk of lings, but I mean, at this stage in the game, when you've got all the larvae in the world to make as many lings as you want, I don't think that's too important. But of course, it is also taxing CobraKai's micro, macro, and it's keeping him stuck in his base. And also, he's basically, yeah, I mean, this way he basically can't move out. But here we go. We have the second command center follow-up coming from Somi. He's still slightly undersaturated as main. He's really got to get that SCV production up. It looks like he slipped up on that. But we do have a considerably large, not large, but I want to say healthy force ready to move out here. And it looks like, what on earth happened here? I hear a medevac drop. Ah, here it is. Basically just keeping the queens at home, excuse me. Keeping the queens at home. But finally, we have the Widow Mines. They're being basically, you know, they're being aroused by these little minute Zergling run-bys, and all but one of them has been exhausted, and the forward one, excuse me. So here we go. Ouch! That one blows up before it gets burrowed. It looks like these Marines will have a safety net to fall back to once they put on the pain for CobraKai. It looks like we have CobraKai in an increasingly uncomfortable position. He doesn't have his Baneling Nest yet. He's actually, you know, I don't think he even has a Roach Warren. He's going to take a lot of damage here. It's likely he could lose some drones here. But no, it looks like the Lings are coming back. Ouch, and they're basically forced to engage into all of this messy Widow Mine poop that they don't want to get into. And it looks like this Widow Mine will not be burrowing adequately today. This Overseer will finish up, giving the Lings full vision of just what's going on here, and they'll be able to really destroy, at least make those Widow Mines less cost-effective. Yes, Widow Mines, the new siege tanks. And this is interesting. We actually don't have this command center turning into an orbital just yet, but just as I said it did happen. Baneling's now in production for CobraKai. He realizes he's being pretty well contained. It looks like the Marines just jumping into the medevacs, getting ready to move around should they need to, but it looks like, oh no, more kiting. One Changeling getting ready to move out here. It gets taken down by this small number of Marines, and I want to say that if we were to see basically CobraKai directly move into this, he'd lose a lot more units. The losses for him right now are just staggering at this stage. You know, I wouldn't mind seeing forward Spine Crawler, forward Spore Crawler, well, not necessarily Spore Crawler, but definitely a forward Overseer to keep those Widow Mines from moving in. But unfortunately, that would definitely leave his natural rather exposed. Speaking of, he's undersaturated at that, as well as his main. He does have a Spire on the way, so the question is, like, what route will he exactly be opting to go with now? Another attempted drop by Somi. Did not go well. And double Spine Crawlers at the front will basically pull, basically force Somi to pull his forces back just slightly. It prevents him from putting any more Widow Mines into the main, at least for now. At least into the natural, excuse me. And meanwhile, we just have a lot more units being just rallied non-stop outside of Somi, outside of CobraKai's base. You know, he's like, okay, well, I'm out on creep, who cares? So, I mean, maybe, just maybe this is mind games, if you will. Ooh! nasty connection by those Widow Mines. Mutas are out, and it looks like all the Widow Mines have been cleared out, and now we have CobraKai free to control the map as he pleases, but it's not happening just yet. Yes, he should really assert his dominance over the territory that he has and continue spreading creep. He actually didn't do that while the Marines were there. I'm thinking maybe, just maybe, if Somi was really playing with, I wouldn't say with his head in this game, because that would sound totally rash and critical of me. But I want to say, it looks like he's got a plan behind this. He moved out on creep, signaling that, okay, this is what I've got. I've just got Marines and Widow Mines. But he has really nothing to follow that up with. Does he have +1? He doesn't even have +1 starting yet. He does have his engineering bay just now finishing up. Combat shields being researched, and these... Ooh. Ouch, ouch, ouch. Very ineffective use of Widow Mines. Ooh, but that one gets a nasty connection. And if the Marines were there to just mop up those last two mutas, it would have made the flock of them much less useful against Somi in the future. And behind this, CobraKai is actually taking his third. In a respectable location. I want to say that if one Zerg player were to put double burrowed banelings right here, it would make for a super effective defense. Not necessary to put creep spread there. Excuse me, Widows coming in here, or excuse me, Widows, wow. Mutos coming in here and mopping up a few Marines. They did get a Widow Mine kill out of that, so, you know, it's really worthwhile, I think. Especially with no sacrifice. And there it is. Changeling Marines. I really think they should be ordered to follow the Marines that Somi had selected there. Looks like they're being taken out one by one, and when combat shields finish, this little guy is going to stand out like a sore thumb. It really will. Behind this, we have upgrades coming relatively late. We're at 16 minutes into the game, and we see that CobraKai is basically stuck at, you know, he's just now getting his 1-1 to finish up. We still, you know, we have an engineering bay, ironically enough, but we just now see that +1 attacks are being researched, and that is a good deal of workers that were pulled off of the main. Interesting to say the very least. I'm a little curious just what server this game was played on. Go ahead and leave a comment on this YouTube channel, or not YouTube channel, but rather this video, and you know, just get back to me. Maybe hit the subscribe button as well. Here we go, and it looks like CobraKai is getting ready to make a big, nasty push. He's got a lot of banelings in production, 15 altogether. I'm going to check the army value right now. You know, that's pretty big, presently. Yeah. I want to say that if CobraKai goes toe-to-toe with Somi, it's not going to end too well with Somi. Just given, you know, if you just look at, if there's no micro involved, and if we just take army values into consideration, if they're, you know, it just, I don't think it would be too good for Somi. Right now we have +1 Carapace, Flyer Carapace being researched. Interesting choice by CobraKai. It's really going to help him, say, versus Marines. Anything that shoots up, basically. Well, Marines are the only thing that shoot up besides Ghosts. But really, it won't help him inflict too much damage on the natural. Speaking of, it doesn't have a lot of gas being harvested. This is really one of those weird games. If this is one of those Masters League games, then I'm thinking, okay, perhaps it was played on the Southeast Asia server. I wouldn't be too surprised to see that, but I see really excellent, rather, you know, you could say even unexpected play from both players. But at the same time, I would say both players are going into this game with a plan. It's just that right now, the biggest mistake that we see from Somi is that he hasn't scouted for his opponent's third, and just as I say that, we see CobraKai taking his fourth. So, you know, the window of opportunity that we see with Somi to attack right now is narrowly closing. Like, it's all going to come down to the remax times, and on 3-base Zerg versus 2-base Terran, that's already fairly difficult. You know, it's difficult enough. Ouch. And that was a nasty connection with the Widow Mines. Excuse me, just one Widow Mine there, but it was still pretty sick, you know. Look at how many yellow health mutas there are. Sure, they regenerate health faster, but just wow. And look at this huge bio ball. It's going to take a lot of micro to manage that really well. You know, Somi's moving in for the kill, I think. Because honestly, you know, he's got his third put down already. He does. But does he have the infrastructure to really help out with that? He should be building barracks right here to help make a sim city. Maybe a few right here as well. And the fourth is just about to finish up for CobraKai. Here we go. Moving out on creep. That basically signals, hey, I'm here to kill you. And this is what I got. So here we go. That's a lot of overlords. What is that all about? I guess that's just to kite their firepower. That's something I've never heard of before, but wow, they're also there to tank for all of these Widow Mines. Oh my god, wow, that was, that was an excellent move by CobraKai, and I never would have thought to do it myself, but it looks like now CobraKai is supply blocked, which is what's really going to cost him the game. No, actually, he had accounted for that. He now has, he's not too behind in terms of supply, but, worker count's not that bad for him either, but really it's all going to come down to the next engagement. Here we have a medevac drop going into the natural, and all these Marines are going to come around the front, and they're going to catch all these Lings as they're morphing into Banelings. That's not good at all for CobraKai. I mean, just like the engagement, there's also 4 or 5, there's 8 Marines here or so just peppering away at the natural mineral line. They're all in hold position, so they're killing a lot of drones. And there it is, the Banelings, some of them finished, but it's just not in time to connect with the Marines aptly enough. So it looks like this is just really nothing but a bunch of bad engagements for CobraKai. Here we are, the Mutas are finally forced to confront the Marines, and he's got nothing else to fight it with. He says, ooh, what a joke. And with that, he leaves the game. So congratulations to Somi, you went in with a plan. There were some flaws with it, but it worked out really well. No, I don't want to say that it was too flawed. You had a plan. You did have a certain plan. Yes, it was a good plan at that. Alright guys, so if you liked what you saw today, just go ahead and click on the follow button. This has been Breaker. I'll see you guys next time, and please tune into my channel if I should happen to be casting the Neo TV Star League, or if you guys ever feel like watching the Asia StarCraft League. That would be twitch.tv/ESL Taiwan. I'll see you guys next time.